Welcome. In this video, we are going to create a 7x3 nameplate that we are going to do a pocket function on to cut our name out. So the first thing we want to do is go to create new file. Our file, as I mentioned, is going to be 7 inches wide by 3 inches by 0.75. Our Z0 will be material surface, and our XY data will be lower left corner. Make sure that there's no offset here. This is very important. If this was selected and there was an offset, we would have a problem when we brought it into the machine. So make sure that the offset is not set up. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to create a border around our pocket. So I'm going to hit the draw rectangle tool. Now we want to have a 1/4 inch border. So a 1/4 inch on each side is going to add up to a total of a 1/2 inch material less than our total size. So if our total size was 7, we want to have a 1/4 inch offset. We're going to say 6.5 as our width, and then 2.5 as our height. Okay, so create. That's going to create our shape here. So I'm going to hit close. I want to move this, and in order to move it, I want it to be centered perfect. So when you're moving a shape in Aspire, you click on it twice, and then you're going to get the nodes where you can bring it in and move it around. Okay, so we want this to be perfect, so we're going to use this software for that. So over here under Transform Objects, we're going to click the Align Selected Object. We want to go up here to Align Material so it's equal on all sides. Now this is going to give us a little bit of material to clamp onto, not much, so we have to be careful when we're pocketing this out. Okay, so go ahead and close the alignment tool. I'm going to take the text tool. I'm just going to click my text, and I'm going to say name. Okay, and I'm going to select this. I'm going to change my font because that font is a little too much for me. So I'm going to pick something a little bit modest like that. And again, I'm going to close this. Now we're going to adjust the size of this by editing our nodes. So I can take it and I can drag it, okay, and I can compress it, and I can make it longer, and I can make it fit how I want it to fit, okay? So it says name. Now again, I'm going to go to the transform objects and hit align. That's going to center it. Okay, so mess around a little bit with your font, get the font you want, the size you want, and so forth. The bigger the name is going to fit in there, the better it is. I do have some concerns about this area between the A and the M. I might have to do some additional machining there to get that out, or some additional node editing. So what I mean by that is my tool going to fit in between these areas? That we don't know. So we're going to have to do some experimenting and might have to do some editing in the future. So I'm going to close the drawing tab because I'm done there. And I'm going to go over to the toolpath tab and lock that in. I'm going to use my split screen so I can see the actual name and the actual CNC'd. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the name so it's red, and then I'm going to hold shift on the keyboard and select the rectangle so I have both selected. Now under toolpath operations, I'm going to select pocket toolpath, and I'm going to set my pocket depth to 0.05. Okay, we're only going to go 1/2 in, and it prompted me with some tools here. I don't want either of these tools, so I'm going to select them and hit remove, and then I'm going to hit select tool. So for this tool, we want to close our imperial tools and go down to metric tools. We're going to open up this. We're going to select the 4mm end mill. Okay, so it tells me that it's 4mm. Okay, I'm going to hit apply. This is asking me, this tool doesn't exist in my library, so I actually have to hit copy here so I can get this menu. So 4mm, 2 flutes, pass depth will be 2mm. Step over, this is the amount of that the tool is going to overlap itself. So we're going to say 77%. That's kind of a lot, but it gives us a safe amount of material removed from our material. Does not stress our tool. 80% is actually ideal, but we'll go around 79. So spindle speed, we'll keep at 15,000. Feed rate, let's drop down to 50. Plunge rate can stay at 30, and we'll keep it tool number 1. Hit apply, and hit select. So now we're going to scroll down here where it says passes. I'm going to want to do this in probably 2 passes. So I'm going to hit edit passes. I'm going to go up to 2. Now that's being very conservative, but again, I don't want to break my tool. We can see here under pass depths, I'm adding those depths here. It broke down the total distance of 50 thousandths into two passes, doing 25 thousandths per pass, or 25 ten thousandths per pass. Okay, for the pattern here, you could either do an offset or a raster. Offset's going to follow everything around there. Raster is going to go back and forth. So it's again that finish that you want. We can kind of experiment and see what you want to do for the finish to look, because you are going to see some tool paths on here. Ramp in plunge moves. So we'll say ramp in distance, we'll do 0.1. And that's about it. So let's go ahead and hit calculate. We can see here I have some tool paths. Okay, I can hit play. It's going to come in there, and it did it quite quickly. So I'm going to redo my preview. So reset preview. I'm going to slow down my speed just a little bit by moving this toggle speed wheel, and I'm going to hit play. So you see it's coming in here. And it came in and took out, as I feared, it did not open those up here. So what I want to do is I want to node edit this. I'm going to go up to edit. Okay, so you can see here that the A is too close to the M, so I want to move this. So in order to move this to get this free, we have to go to our drawing tab. We're going to hit this button here. This is convert to curves. So I need to select all my shapes. Okay, and then I'm going to go convert to curves. Okay. So now I can take this A and select it individually, and now I can move it. So I'm going to hit it twice. Okay, and I can move it with my keyboard. Okay. So let's go ahead and close this. Okay, now once you've converted this to curves, you're not able to come in and change the font of it. But I'm going to hit close here because I made some changes. So see this button here that says recalculate toolpaths? I'm going to select my toolpaths and hit calculate toolpaths. That's going to redo my toolpaths. Now I can go back and hit reset preview, hit play, and it's going to come in here. Whoops. Oh dear. Simple problem here. I didn't select name when I calculated my toolpath. So let's go back to pocket one. And under pocket one, I just need to select the name again and hit calculate. Not a big deal. Reset all toolpaths. Reset preview. Preview all toolpaths. There we go. Perfect. So there you have your name. Okay. Now there's a couple things I don't like on here. The A and the M, how it's not touching. So we're going to fix it. So in order to fix where this A and these M's are, I need to do some node editing. So I'm going to select and then hit N. Okay, N puts us in node editing mode, which are going to give us these black dots. So what I want to do is I want to just move these over. This is going to open up the M. This is a really cool function to be able to node edit. Open that up a little bit. Okay, and then up here where the A is, this one we're going to have to be a little bit more creative with. Okay, so I opened up those two. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit close here. Let's hit calculate toolpaths, hit OK, go to preview, hit reset preview, and preview all toolpaths. And it did fix it, although I don't like, again, on the A, how close that is. So I'm going to zoom in here, and it's that little squiggle right there. So if we hit N to node edit, I'm just going to click this, try to straighten that out. Sometimes you can or can't. Okay, so that little bubble in there is giving me a little bit of a problem. I'm going to see if I can use my trim tool to trim that out. And I did. That should fix the problem. And the trim tool is a scissors tool. So I'm going to hit close. I'm going to hit recalculate toolpaths. Okay, it didn't select the A, so I got to go back and edit my A. When you do a lot of editing, you do have to make sure you select those. So there you go. Go down, hit calculate. Hopefully this is not getting too confusing for you. Reset preview and hit play. Okay, so I could clean that up a little bit more. Or maybe I'll just leave it. Okay. That looks pretty good. So go ahead and hit close. I'm going to unpin my drawing tab here. And last but not least, I want to save this. So I'm going to select my toolpath. And then I'm going to hit Save Toolpaths. I want to save it to the, it says Add Post Processor. Okay, we should see Path Pilot here. If you don't see Path Pilot, hit Add Post. Then we're going to scroll over to here where it says Plus. And we're going to scroll down to Path Pilot. Okay, so Path Pilot, ATC inches, hit Select, hit OK. Again, we have to select Path Pilot, and then you're going to hit Save Toolpath. Go ahead and put your USB in. I don't have a USB right now, but you're going to put your USB in, and then you're going to say your name, Pocket. Okay, we're going to save it. All right, so we went through, video was a little bit longer than it needed to, but we went through some good changes that I think some of you are going to face. So go ahead, create your name, just as we did here. Awesome, good luck.